Kamatz or Kamatz, Modern Hebrew. IPA, Kamatz, alternatively Kamatz, is a Hebrew niq'd vowel sign represented by two perpendicular lines, looking like an uppercase T, underneath a letter. In modern Hebrew, it usually indicates the phoneme, a, which is the a sound in the word spa and is transliterated as a. In these cases, its sound is identical to the sound of pata in modern Hebrew. In a minority of cases it indicates the phoneme, o, equal to the sound of olam. Kamatz katan, Kamatz gadol, Hataf Kamatz katan versus Kamatz gadol. The Hebrew of the late centuries BCE and early centuries of the Common Era had a system with 5 phonemic long vowels, a, e, I, o, u, and 5 short vowels, a, e, I, o, u. In the later dialects of the first millennium CE, phonemic vowel length disappeared, and instead was automatically determined by the context, with vowels pronounced long in open syllables and short in closed ones. However, the previous vowel phonemes merged in various ways that differed from dialect to dialect. In Tiberian Hebrew, which underlies the written system of vowels, short, a, became o, indicated by pata, long, o, became o, indicated by olam, while a and o both merged into an in-between sound. Similar to the vowel in English, cot, without the cot-cot merger, which was indicated by Kamatz. In the Babylonian vocalization, however, short and long variants simply merged, with a and a becoming a, while o and o became o, and this system underlies the pronunciation of modern Hebrew. The result is that in modern Hebrew, the vowel written with Kamatz might be pronounced as either a or o, depending on historical origin. It is often said that the two sounds can be distinguished by context. The Kamatz sound of o, known as Kamatz katan, Hebrew, IPA, Kamatz katan, little Kamatz, occurs in a closed syllable, i.e. one which ends in a consonant marked with a schwa nak, 0 vowel, or with a dagesh hazak, which indicates that the consonant was pronounced geminated, i.e. doubled. The Kamatz sound of a, known as Kamatz gadol, Hebrew, Kamatz adal, big Kamatz, occurs in an open syllable, i.e. any other circumstance. One which ends in a consonant followed by a normal vowel, a consonant at the end of a word and with no vowel marking, or a consonant marked with a schwa na, originally pronounced. Unfortunately, the two varieties of schwa are written identically, and pronounced identically in modern Hebrew. As a result, there is no reliable way to distinguish the two varieties of Kamatz when followed by a vowel marked with a schwa. In some cases, biblical texts are marked with a me, theg or other cantillation mark that helps to indicate which pronunciation is intended, but this usage is not consistent, and in any case such marks are absent in non-biblical texts. An example of the Kamatz katan is the modern Hebrew word, to kai nit, program. According to the standard Hebrew spelling rules as published by the Academy of the Hebrew Language, words which have a Kamatz katan in their base form must be written without a vav, hence the standard vowel-less spelling of is. In practice, however, modern Hebrew words containing a Kamatz katan do add a vav to indicate the o pronunciation. Hence the non-standard spelling is common in newspapers and is even used in several dictionaries, for example Rav Milam. Words, which in their base form have a olam that changes to Kamatz katan in declension, retain the vav in vowel-less spelling. The noun, kai of, freedom, is spelled in vowel-less texts. The adjective, kai ofi, free, is spelled in vowel-less text, despite the use of Kamatz katan, both according to the standard spelling and in common practice. Some books print the Kamatz katan differently, although it is not consistent. For example, in Siddur Ranat Yisrael the vertical line of Kamatz katan is longer. In Siddur Sim Shalom, the horizontal line is separated from the bottom. In a book of Psalms used by some Breslov Hasidim the Kamatz katan is bolder. In the popular niq'd textbook Nikud Halakha Lamos by Nisan Netzer, the Kamatz katan is printed as an encircled kamatz for didactic purposes. Unicode defines the code point U+05C7 Hebrew point QAMATSQATAN, although its usage is not required. Hataf Kamatz, Hebrew, IPA, Kai Atif Kamatz, is a reduced Kamatz. Like Kamatz katan, it is pronounced o, but the rationale for its usage is different. It replaces the SHVA on letters which require a SHVA according to the grammar, but where the traditional pronunciation is o. This mostly happens with gutturals, for example in oanim, pines, the plural form of oan, but occasionally also on other letters, for example, oiam, roots, the plural of o, and sepoim, birds, the plural of sepo. Pronunciation and transliteration. The following table contains the pronunciation and transliteration of the different Kamatzes in reconstructed historical forms and dialects using the International Phonetic Alphabet. The transcription in IPA is above and the transliteration is below. The letters bet and heth used in this table are only for demonstration. Any letter can be used. Vowel length comparison. These vowel lengths are not manifested in modern Hebrew. The short o, Kamatz katan, and long a, Kamatz, have the same niq. Because of this, the short o, Kamatz katan, is usually promoted to a long o, olam male, in Israeli writing, written as a vav, for the sake of disambiguation. By adding two vertical dots, shva, the vowel is made very short. Unicode encoding note. The glyph for QAMATSQATAN may appear empty or incorrect if one applies a font that cannot handle the glyph necessary to represent Unicode character U+05C7. Usually this Unicode character isn't used and is substituted with the similar-looking QAMATS, U+05B8.